Hey guys and girls, welcome to my 2-month guitar progress update. I had a very busy day yesterday, didn't get home till super late, so this will be quite an interesting highlights reel from this session that I do today. With the hours of practice, we're on around about 45 hours of total practice time, which when you think about it, if you start a new job, a highly skilled job with zero experience, it's kind of like your first week. So when you think of it that way, it's no time at all. This week I learnt the C chord, but that opened me up to a bunch of new songs, tons of new songs. So it got slightly harder with the songs that I'm practicing, and that has introduced me to some chord changes that have troubled me big time. So I've been focusing on those pretty much. And the C hasn't had too much attention, to be honest with you, but I have been using it in the songs. I have been practicing forming it and things like that for the past week. So I've had 1 week with the C. But with the songs that I was learning, and by the way, there's a half marathon going on outside right now, just about a quarter of a mile down there. There's a big crowd of people, so I'm hoping that most of the cheers are drowned out. So if you do hear anything coming through, they're not cheering me, unfortunately. They're just cheering the runners. Anyway, so yeah, so I've been predominantly practicing the E minor to D and the C to D, and vice versa, because that's what I've been introduced to with the new songs. I sort of got to grips with the E major to D because of that anchor finger. But now that anchor finger's been taken away, I've discovered the difficulty I've had, gradually getting better at it. So I'll talk a little bit about that when I get to the songs that I practice. But yeah, I'm just going to get right into things that I'm doing. So riffs. So the one riff that I've been practicing a lot this week that I've introduced, I'm hitting up 3 riffs at the moment. I just run through them for about 2 minutes. So the first one comes You Are by Nirvana. And I've lost my black pick, my 1mm black pick. Can't find it. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that, so comment down below if you sympathise with me losing my first pick. It's got to be somewhere. I'll probably discover it. I'm expecting a million comments because I know you've all been through it. Okay, next one, Severn Army. You may have seen me practice it a couple of weeks ago when I first started. I say practice it, they're just finger exercises, so I'm not trying to get these perfect. They're just to get my fingers moving around the notes. That's all they are aiming to do. This one, when I was first learning it, I think I was sliding. I was using this finger, I think I was using my ring finger, but I'm using my little finger now, my pinky finger for that note there. Let's have a whirl. Whoops, what have I done? And the last one I'm practicing is Sunshine of Your Love. Whoops, a daisy. This pick is a bit slippery. blame your tools. Whoops. Put me off. Okay, then I'm doing a bit of strumming practice that I won't run through with you guys. And a couple of songs. Okay, well, I'll say a couple of songs. There are lots of songs I'm practicing and running through now. I'm not going to play them all, obviously. And a lot of them are ones that I've run through from previous weeks, so I'm just trying to keep myself going with the chords that I've already learned. Some of these songs are way too fast, so I'm sort of pretty much playing them all half pace or 60-70% pace, some of them. And there's also lots of chord changes. There's 4 or 5 in a lot of them. I'm going to start with beat it. There's only 3 in that: E minor, D and C. Just play it, run through it. I'm playing this at the moment at 64 beats per minute. I'll try running through at 77. I'll try running through at 77 beats per minute. Now, I'm getting a big problem when it comes to E to D, so E minor to D to C, so that's why I have to run through slow. So I'm finding that when I hit the D, it's sort of in 1, 2, 3 with my fingers. So I'm going from E minor, to bang, bang, bang. They're not falling anywhere near in unison, and that's kind of holding me up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and sometimes that ring finger can lag a good half a second to a second, which means I'm already strumming away in the song before I get that down. So I'm hoping that over time that just gets quicker. But what I have been doing, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, working on independence of that. Maybe you can let me know what you think. I know there's all different ways to do everything, so you feel welcome to give me your input, but I'm practicing hitting that down first. See, that just naturally wants to go down. And I find if I do that for a good 5 to 10 minutes, it does eventually lead. That finger actually leads naturally for the session that I'm doing, but then I come back the next day and I'm back to this, or later on in the day, and I'm back to this. So whether over time that's going to improve naturally, I don't know. Let me know. It's the same with the C. I'm planting 1, 2, 3. I suppose that's completely normal for a beginner, and I suppose over time, I have to remember I'm only 45 hours in. 1, 2, 3, they're not landing, you know, in unison. I can't even line them up to land in unison. Anyway, I'm getting off the point there. I'm digressing a little, so let's just get on with the song. Okay, let's try that at 77 beats per minute for the first time. Watch me get stressed and anxious every time the D or the C arrives. So as you can see, there's still lots and lots of work to do with the changes. So I'm going to focus at least the next week, possibly 2 weeks before I even consider moving on and looking at the G. So that's not even in my mind at the moment. I'm sort of still really want to improve these changes to the D and hope that the C comes along as well over the next 2 weeks. That's not the point of being perfect. I know that's going to take a long time, but just to a point where I'm a bit more comfortable with how they're going. At the moment, I don't feel comfortable enough to go introducing another chord and other songs, etc. and slow it down, just focus on what I'm doing for another couple of weeks and then just take it from there and reassess. So now we're going to play through Daft Punk Get Lucky, which is a 116 beat per minute song. I started practicing this one at 58, then I bumped it to 70. Let's try 81. This is the same progression throughout A minor to C to E minor to D to A minor to C to E minor to D, over and over and over. Whoops, wrong chord. Okay. But yes, as you can see, I'm going to work on those changes still. Still loving it, you know, I'm 8 weeks in, as I say. If you guys are in the same position, give me a comment down below. Let me know how you're finding it. Let me know what you're struggling with. If you've got any tips or things that you think I should be doing or following or different to what I am doing. What I will say is I considered switching the way I play the E minor, because I'm playing it that way. And I thought if I play it that way with the index finger and the middle finger, maybe easier to switch to the D from there straight down. And with the C, that can stay put and that can just come down. Anyway, they're just things that I've been muddling around with and considering. So I may just get into the swing of spending a few minutes every day just playing the E minor that way. So at least I've got the options maybe going forward. Something I'm going to think about anyhow. But thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow the journey, like this video and send us to the stratosphere. Thank you for watching.